Former Northwestern University student is suing a sorority she blames for her daughter's suicide. 19-year-old Jordan Hankins died in January of 2017. The lawsuit against Kappa Alpha alleges that hazing caused her severe anxiety and depression, which led Jordan to take her own life. Now her parents are opening up to CBS this morning in their only television interview. Jerika Duncan is outside the sorority's headquarters in Chicago. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning. As a result, Kappa Alpha was suspended from Northwestern's campus in 2017. In a statement to CBS this morning, they say they were deeply saddened by the death of Jordan Hankins. But still, the parents of Hankins believe the sorority, made up of nearly 300,000 members nationwide, should be held responsible for their daughter's death.
She had a smile.
Police right now are waiting for the results of an autopsy. So all they're saying is that this is a suspicious death investigation. But the family of this young man believes that hazing was to blame. 20-year-old Tyler Hilliard should be getting ready for his junior year at UC Riverside. But he died suddenly this weekend. His family doesn't know why.
A mother should never have to bury a child like that. I mean, he's only 20. He hasn't even begun to live his life. He had a bright future ahead of him.
Tyler was pledging the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha. Members of that group told the family they were beginning a hike on Mount Rubidoux Saturday night when he collapsed and had to be taken to Riverside Community Hospital.
They did a toxicology report, the doctors told me, and there were no findings.
When Tyler's aunt looked through his phone, she found messages referring to hazing activities that had been going on for weeks. It appears other pledges may have suffered injuries.
There are texts like where the group is saying, don't tell anybody we had to go to the hospital. If they ask, we had to go to CVS really quickly.
According to Alpha Phi Alpha's national website, the fraternity does not allow pledging or hazing of any kind. Their executive director says, quote, working with the university, the fraternity has launched an investigation into the situation and has placed the chapter on an immediate cease and desist status, suspending all activities. Tyler's family says they want to get to the bottom of what happened so they can make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
I want answers. I want an apology. I want to know what happened. I want people to be truthful about what happened.
Teacher and a city employee have both been charged with beating another man who was pledging a Brooklyn grad chapter of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, officials said on Friday. Steve Liverpool, 47, and Keston Frank, 34, who head the Alpha Upsilon chapter of the KES, have been charged with assault and hazing in connection with the brutal December 7 attack on Tory Gates, 45, who had hoped to join the organization. Gates was struck on his body, chest, back, buttocks and testicles between 150-200 times, by hand and with a fraternity paddle, leaving him hospitalized, authorities charged in the complaint. The attack during an initiation ceremony landed Gates in Mount Sinai Hospital for swelling, substantial pain and bruising, the complaint, which was obtained by the New York Post, said.
During the Templar trials, members of the order described how initiates were required to perform bizarre sexual rites, bestowing obscene kisses on the bodies of senior members. They confessed to spitting and trampling on the cross, and denying the divinity of Jesus.
The accusations have been leveled at the Templars are extremely lurid, and have always attracted, for that reason, a great deal of attention. But they are there in black and white in the trial depositions, so we have to address them and assess them.
But most shocking of all was the testimony that the Templars worshipped a sinister bearded head.
In the trials, the head was described in various different ways. Sometimes they said it had 2 heads. Sometimes brothers described it as having 4 feet. Some said it was made of silver. Some said it was made of gold.
It was rumored to be the preserved head of the first Templar Grand Master, Hugh de Payenne. It was also described as a 2-faced skull or the head of an animal. Some mentioned a weird idol known as Baphomet. It's possible the word Baphomet was a corrupted pronunciation of Mohammed. If so, some have suggested this is evidence